Hello and happy Saturday. I know, random time to come in, but that's what I'm doing. It's launch week, so lots of things. I'm going to go through module 5 of the How to Live and Love Your Brand course this evening. So if anyone is around and, just chilling at home on a Saturday like me, then come on over and listen. You can always as well watch the replay and comment later on as well. I hope this is a little bit helpful for you. I am Emma Lovell and I'm a personal branding coach and I'm based on the Gold Coast, Queensland, Australia, and I would like to pay my respects to the traditional custodians of the land on which I live, work and play. They're the Bundjalung people of the Yugambeh language region, and I pay my respects to the elders past, present and emerging. So today, as I said, I'm going to be going through module 5 of the How to Live and Love Your Brand course. Hi Justine. I was saying I don't know who's going to be around today, but I'll show up anyway and I'll come and say hello. I must admit, I planned to go live at 2, but it was a beautiful day, and we actually took my son to a animal park, and then we wanted to have a swim after, and I thought I should really have a swim, and then I can do this later. Hello, howdy do. So module 5 of the How to Live and Love Your Brand course, which is an 8-module self-paced course with live coaching that I'm launching right now. It has about creating your key messages. And now, just as a business has key messages, we as people can have our own key messages. Things that we have to tell people and that we want people to know. That's what these key messages are. And so what I provide is quite a detailed key messaging document. It can be a little bit overwhelming when you first see it, but don't worry, there's always videos in the course and I go through everything. But basically, a key messaging document is like your vision, your mission, your name, your tagline, who you serve, what you're here for, what your purpose is. It's got usually like a 50-word, 100-word, and potentially a 200-word bio. I go into your 3 words, the 3 words that describe you, and really digging into what those are, your values, your tone of voice. So tone of voice means the way we speak, the way we come across. So mine would be lovely, be professional, be passionate, it would be inspiring. You have to know all these things that if somebody comes in and tries to write like you, it would say, no, that doesn't sound lovely. It needs to sound lovely. They need to be kind but excited, but also, we still can be professional. So that's my tone. Your tone would be very different to my tone. And what's so lovely is when you get that right, people go, oh, it sounded like you, it sounded just like you. And a good writer, or a consistent writer, which would be you about yourself, would be able to keep that up. So we want to make sure your tone is consistent, whether you're in person, whether you're speaking, whether you're writing. So what I want to help people with is, we might at some point get a writer to help us to work on our messaging, to write our website or to write content for us, but we want to be able to tell them how to write like us. That's what a key messaging guide does. So a business has usually a visual brand guide. That's your logo, the fonts, the colors that you use, those sorts of things. But they should also have a tone of voice or a brand voice guide. And that talks about those things. Who are we? What do we stand for? What are our values? What's our tone of voice? What's our mission? What's our vision? Why are we here? What are we doing? And so we basically just take that and we do it for people. That's what I used to do. I used to do these for businesses, for big campaigns, for events, for organizations. And it was like, how can we create content if we don't have a place to come back to, if we don't have a center point? And if you're just writing copy and creating content based off other bits and pieces that you've done over time, the message may not be consistent. So that's what we're trying to do here. So in this module, we start with what are key messages, which is basically what I've just told you. Then we go into the key messaging document and break that down so it's not as scary. And, it doesn't have to be worked through in order. I go through it that way, but if you feel inspired. And the thing is, if you've gone through the course, one of my clients, Alicia, said there is a clever layering to my way of working. When we've done that digging work in module 1, 2 and 3, and then stuck into our target audience in module 4, we've done all this developing work, we've done all this digging work, we've done all this exploring. We actually have a lot of words already. We have a lot more clarity already. So this is now just putting it together and then refining it. And that's, again, the value of having the support of a coach like myself and a group to bounce it off and to share. And I mean, the thing is with this as well, I just have been working with a client for their brand voice guide, and I said to them, you have to understand that this is a moving piece of work. Like, ultimately, generally your vision and your mission and your tagline, they're sort of set, and you know, you do the hard work on those, but your messaging can evolve and it can change and it can develop. So we need to get something down to start, and we need to have the key messages for where you're at now, who you're trying to talk to now, and if that changes, then you can go back and revisit it. But that's why as well, I want you to have the formula, and I would want people to have the structure and the understanding, because when you do need to go back and do that work, you don't have to go, oh, okay, now I have to hire that person to go through that whole process again and do all those things and write it on my behalf. I know what I want to say, and I know how to go back and dig in and go through the steps myself. So the next thing we do is goal setting, you know, and again, that's probably come out in the first 4 modules. You know, what do we want to achieve here? What are we trying to get? Like, who do we want to talk to? Where do I want to be? We need to know that in order to sort of set those things out. So vision, mission, goal, that's sort of the start. Sometimes that can be a bit big, so you can get something down. I always say to people, just get something down. Like, it's so hard starting from a blank piece of paper. Just get some things down, and then we can sort of tweak and massage and refine as you get towards the end. But if you don't start with something, it's really difficult, you know, to begin at all, to have anything. So the next thing is about you. So this is where we explore the 3 words. So sometimes the about section can be a bit more challenging, or writing a bio, which I'm doing a webinar on Monday. You know, writing a bio can be challenging because you only have 100 words or 200 words, which for some people feels like a lot, and some people feels like it's not enough. But we're just really trying to give a holistic view and an understanding of who you are to spark a conversation so that you can build a relationship from that. We're not trying to tell them the whole entire history. This isn't your history. It isn't your resume. It is your about. It's about who you are. So we just want an introduction there. So the 3 words can be more helpful for that. And we've done that exercise earlier in earlier modules. That's discovering the 3 words that describe you. But in this section, we don't just go, what are the 3 words? We go, what do those 3 words mean to me? And I have to tell you, this is probably one of my favorite exercises and one of my clients' favorite exercises. The next thing we do is then go to the audience and testimonials. So looking at your audience, which we did in module 4, so that should be kind of almost there. And then we look at testimonials and what others had to say about you, recommendations, referrals, testimonials, because sometimes when we're struggling to find the words about ourselves, sometimes other people's words can actually help us and support us to get clear on how we talk about ourselves. You know, we kind of get stuck in a way of talking. And even throughout this launch, I've been seeking feedback from colleagues and from other experts that I know, saying, you know, is this resonating? You know, how could I say this differently? Or trying new things. Like, I'm still growing and exploring and changing as well. So that's something you can do. Then finally in this module, we're going to look at, actually there's a little bit more. We go into then language and tone of voice. So what are the ways that we speak? Like, how does it sound to people? Because the way we express ourselves is visually, vocally, and verbally. Hello gorgeous Meg. So visually is pretty obvious. Verbally is how vocally is how it comes across, the sound of what we're saying, or the way that people feel when they hear it. And then verbally is like the literal words. And it's really interesting. It's like something like 55% of people's first impression or people's impression is visual. And then the next is vocal. And so that's how it sounds. So how does it sound if I say to you, I'm really excited to be here today. I love being here and I love doing these lives with you. Does it sound like the words that I'm saying match up? No. So I'm saying it, but you're not listening to the words I'm saying, you're listening to my tone. Whereas if I sit here and visually, I'm excited. Vocally, I'm so excited to be here with you and I love doing these lives. Then you're going to understand or hear better and align what the verbal words are, because the verbal is like 7%. The actual words, people get so fixated on the actual words, and they do matter. I love words, they mean much. But like, if you're not showing up and having the right tone, and you're not showing up with your body and your language and expressing all of you through all of you, we don't receive the message the same way. So it has to be all of a line when it's authentic and you can consistently do it. Like I was tired today, so that's the thing. If I had to come 2 or 3 hours earlier, I probably couldn't have been like this. I was so tired and just wanted to go out in the sun. So it's like, you know what? I can wait a couple hours, get into a better headspace, and I can come and be the Lovely that you know. You know, this is going to be better for me than if I just sort of come and go, oh, hey, come and do my course. You should look at module 5. It's not going to be the same. So you get it? So that's tone of voice. So we dig into that. We talk about the language that you're going to use. What's the language that's going to represent you? And I find this sometimes that people are like, I'm writing a professional email, so I should sound professional. But it's like, it doesn't even sound like them. When you read back the email, you're like, who is this? My husband slips into this sometimes, and I think it's so funny. Like, I'm reading it, and it's like, here, for, there, too. And I'm like, you're like a surfy dude. You don't talk like that. Like, and the roles you're going for are not like that. So, you know, if you were, say, in academia, like, obviously there's language that you would use, and there's a tone that is used in academia that is not the same as the way, hi, Hannah, not the same as the way that you speak, you know, in a more casual sense. Like, I call people lovely on my emails. If someone else did that, it might not be appropriate. Maybe it's not appropriate that I do it, but that's my tone. That's the language that I choose to use. I use inspiring language. I use colloquial language. I'm very conversational. So, hi, is that a hi or a question? You're welcome to ask questions and comment as well. But that's language and tone of voice. So I think that's really important to understand and to learn about. And the fact that your personal brand is not just this. Your personal brand is how you speak, the words you use, your reputation, your skills, your experience. So like even in your emails, like that can come across. Like you should be coming across. And if people aren't, have you ever got an email from someone and then when you've met them you'd be like, oh, like you're so different to what I expected? Or, you know, if someone were like, hey, how are you? Can't wait to see you. And then when you see them, they're like, oh, hi. Yeah, like, or they're like, hi, it's nice to meet you. And you're like, well, you were really chatty and conversational in your message. But when I'm seeing you, you're really sort of kind of more, I don't know, direct and more like sort of straight-laced than the chatty conversational email that I got. So we want to be consistent so that when people visit our website, then they see us and then they go and read an email from us, they're getting the same experience no matter what medium they're on. So then we talk about key messages. So like, what are the things that people need to know? Like, what are the 5 to 10 things they have to know about you? If you only had 5 to 10 things to say, what are those? Yes. Yeah, totally. So Meg's just saying, yes, it's strange when their tech language is different than in person. Absolutely. And so we want to have that consistent image. And Meg, you did that very well. What you see on the videos of Meg, you get in person, and you get it in her emails as well. You get one Meg flavor. Awesome. Oh, yay, Meg's building a website for Hannah. That's so great. I love when people are working together. So then we go through writing it down, and I just actually like have some videos in my course that are like set a timer and just write with us, because as I said, like working from a blank page is so challenging. So start just working with some words. Like it is sometimes easier to massage sentences and to play around with it. Like you might not get it down right the first time, but if you don't have anything and you're struggling over just trying to get even 2 or 3 words down, that makes it really hard. And I don't expect that everybody is going to be a writer, but I do think it's really valuable and important to be able to write about yourself and write for yourself, even so that you understand the process, so that when you go out and get a professional or an expert, like you get someone like Meg to help you with your website, or you've got a copywriter, or you've got someone to do graphic design, you can actually express to them, or a photographer, like when I work together with Meg from Chris Creations. She needs to be able to understand your brand. Like she needs to understand what you're trying to portray. And if you've done the work and you've written this down and you've got really clear about it, when you give her the brief of this is what I want my photos to say about me, it makes her job so much easier. You know, the same with videographers, the same with any professionals. And so what I'm doing in this course is priming you, getting you ready working on this message, building your confidence, building your clarity, getting so clear that when you go out and you do want to get extra support in your business, you do want to get a professional, because there's things that you can do yourself and there's things you go, you know what, I want to level up, I want someone to come in and help me with it, but you still need to be able to communicate to them and ask them to help you to show the world your message. So that's what this work can do. So we do more writing in this one, and then we just talk a little bit about knowing your story. So there was a book that I recommended in this course, and I just feel like it's really important to understand your whole story. You don't need to tell your whole story. As soon as we meet someone, you don't have to like go out there and hey gorgeous Jade. You don't have to tell everyone your whole story all at once. Like, the analogy I use is that we are trying to, when we meet people, we're trying to like spark. We're just trying to spark something. We're trying to give them, in the quickest way possible, an impression of us, the real impression of us, an authentic impression of us that makes them go, I want to connect more with you. So we're not trying to start a bushfire, we're trying to spark something. So the clearer you can be, then you know, and you know the whole story, then you can know which parts of the story to pull out, how to summarize that lovely story, and feel confident in that story, so that you can go out there and you can just radiate your brand. Like, I'm in a light right now, but you can like shine your brand. That's what this work is about. Thank you, Meg. It's been so lovely seeing you here. So I've been talking today about Module 5 of the How to Live and Love Your Brand course, which is all about writing. And again, I will express, I'm not trying to turn everyone into copywriters or writers, but I think there's such a value in being able to write about yourself and understanding yourself and going through this process and putting pen to paper or words to keyboard, like sometimes preferably pen to paper. It can just be so valuable to understand and get to know yourself better. And then it's like such a great practice for when you go out and then want to talk to people or pitch yourself or put yourself forward. As Meg knows, and Jade, I ask people to introduce themselves all the time. Like, put yourself forward, talk about yourself. You know, learn how to explain that, learn how to say it in a way that other people understand. Like, sometimes we're using language and words that people don't understand and they can't connect with. So this is all about how can we connect with the people that we want to connect with and attract them into our business and our lives. That's what we're doing. So I'm going to wrap up because it is Saturday night. I'm going to go and, have a little rest and receive. I'm all about that. So it is day 5 of the course launch, How to Live and Love Your Brand course launch. If you are interested, link in my bio for the How to Live and Love Your Brand course. All the details, it is open, it's live now. There are 8 modules, it's self-paced, so you get lifetime access, so you can keep revisiting this work over and over, but you also get 8 weeks of live coaching with me, which I've spread over 12 weeks. We start soon. It will be such a wonderful gift to yourself. I know there's Christmas, I know there's lots of stuff going on, I know you want to you think I'll just wait till the new year, but you have to start somewhere. And if this is calling you, please jump in. Come and work with me. I would absolutely love to support you on your journey, and I would love to help you make more of an impact in the world by clearly expressing who you are. That's what I do. Yay! Thanks, Meg. Thanks, Jade. Thanks, Hannah. Thank you, Justine. Thank you for being here. Hi, King. It's been a pleasure. You can watch the replay, comment and questions there. I will always come back to you. DM me if you want to learn more, and I'll be back tomorrow morning with another lovely course member to share more about her experience. Thank you and good night.